Hi there, everyone. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince. Welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And guess what? It's Mother's Day! And I've got a special blog for any mom who's watching this blog. So, what do I have in mind for this? Well, let's take a look at our cult Pixar films, shall we? As everyone knows, Pixar is one of the top dogs when it comes to animated films, especially when they work with Disney. And so far with films like the Toy Story trilogy, WALL-E, A Bug's Life, The Incredibles, Up, or Monsters, Inc., these guys are a great company. So what if they made the Cars movies? They're still a great company. However, my blog today is not going to be just one of Pixar's works, but it's also one of their Oscar-winning champions that, in my opinion, fits the Mother's Day message. Released on June 22nd, 2012, the movie is Brave! So let's get started. Merida, a Scottish princess whose interests include archery and horse riding, is told by her mother, Queen Eleanor, that her interests are not what a princess should be doing, and that she has to marry. But Merida chooses to defy her mother, and when she and her mother have an argument, Merida rides off and meets a witch. She asks for a spell to change her mother, and the witch gives her a cake, which she gives to her mother, but the change is not what she was hoping for. So what did I think of this film? Well, it starts out great, but sometimes it goes a little bit downhill. I mean, some parts of the film reminded me of other Disney films like Brother Bear, The Little Mermaid, Robin Hood, and Mulan. And sometimes throughout the film, the bagpipe music did give me a little bit of a headache a few times. And this film did feel like something that would come from Studio Ghibli or DreamWorks, but I still like it anyway. Now to explain some trivia in what I like to call Mustang Notes. It was announced in April of 2008 when the title was actually called The Bear and the Bow. Brave was announced as Pixar's first fairy tale film. Writer and director Brenda Chapman considers it a fairy tale in the tradition of Hans Christian Andersen and the Brothers Grimm. She also drew inspiration from her relationship with her own daughter, and Chapman conceived the project and was announced as the film's director, making her as Pixar's first female director. However, in October 2010, she was replaced by Mark Andrews after creative disagreements. Chapman found that the news of her replacement devastating, but later stated that her vision came through in the film, and that she remained very proud of the movie, and that she ultimately stood up for herself. The end credits included a special tribute to Pixar's co-founder and CEO, Steve Jobs, who died in 2011. As for the animation, which is Pixar after all, it is really awesome. From Merida's hair, which I heard is really hard to animate with CG, to her horse Angus, including the Wisp spirits. By the way, remember what I said that this film at times made me think of Studio Ghibli? Well, the Wisps look like they came from this beautiful film right over here. And the way Scotland looks in this film is really nice. But one part of the film did remind me of some place I visited in the UK back in the summer of 2010. And now, to talk about the voices of this film. Princess Merida was originally to be voiced by Reese Witherspoon, who declined due to her scheduling issues, so instead, the character was voiced by Scottish actress Kelly MacDonald. She's a Scottish princess who dreams of following her own path and living her own life. Well, even though that's already been done before with several other Disney heroines, Merida pulls it off well, and I believe she's a welcome addition to the Disney Princess franchise, and she's made history as the first Disney princess to come from Pixar. So, I congratulate her for that. Merida's mom, Queen Eleanor, is voiced by Emma Thompson. Who recently played P.L. Travers in Saving Mr. Banks, which I blogged a couple months ago. As for what I thought of Eleanor, I mean, she is really nice as a mom, but she does get a little bit bitchy though, like in the beginning of the film. But you do understand why she does act that way. She is the queen, sure, but she's also a mom trying to care and provide for her family, like a real mother would. King Fergus is voiced by Billy Connolly. Like, what I thought of Fergus, I mean, like, he's a really rowdy dad. I mean, like, he would really be a cool one, like the kind who would beat up anyone who's picking on you at school or support you, like saying that she can handle anything. That's what you get when Billy Connolly voices a really cool character like Fergus. The witch who Merida bumps into in the woods is voiced by Julie Walters, who, like most of the other actors in this film, was featured in the Harry Potter franchise. And the Lords of the Other Kingdoms are Robbie Coltrane, aka Hagrid from the Harry Potter films as Lord Dingwall, Kevin McKidd, aka Poseidon from the Percy Jackson films as Lord MacGuffin, and Craig Ferguson as Lord Macintosh. Man, Craig Ferguson must really like being in animated films, which, speaking of which, I look forward to hearing his voice again in the upcoming How to Train Your Dragon 2 film this summer. Now, my favorite characters in this film are Merida's triplet brothers. These boys always make me laugh whenever they're on screen. It's like, mostly all they do is cause all sorts of mischief, like stealing food, starting fights, even leading someone on a wild goose chase. I know they're not voiced by anybody, but that's what makes them really special in this movie, and really funny. And lastly, we have the villain, Mor'du, whose vocals are done by the legendary Frank Welker. Now, Mor'du was a human prince who wanted to take over the kingdom that he shared with his three brothers, and went to the same witch that Merida went to gain the strength of 10 men, paying with the ring of his house, which bears 2 crossed axes. The spell he received eventually transformed into a bear, soon leading to the fall of his kingdom, and as on the dawn of the second day happened, the spell became permanent, and the bear side of him overtook his humanity, making him into a monstrous bear. And god damn did this guy terrify me when I saw the movie in theaters. Also, I felt that Mor'du looked almost exactly like another bear that Disney made a long time ago. Alright, pull it together. Alright. Now it's time for my final words of this movie. Above all, while Brave may be a perfect Mother's Day movie for the whole family, it still is not as good as Pixar's past works. but mixed with the characters and the environment still makes it enjoyable. And like I said in my Oz the Great and Powerful blog, if you have kids, they'll enjoy Brave much more than you. I'll give this movie a rating of 79%. Well, that's all for now, everybody. I hope all of you moms who watched this blog enjoyed this, and will have a splendid Mother's Day today. So, be sure to join me for my next blog. Hopefully. So, till next time, this is Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, saying, Mustang Power, and have a wonderful Mother's Day today.